Hey guys, Alex here with Paragon Performance. Today we're going to be showing you how to install the Paragon Performance catch can on your C8 Stingray. Now this isn't really a new product for us. We've had this for quite a while. It's just gone through a couple different changes over the years, so we're just kind of doing an updated install. Literally it'll take you 10 or 15 minutes. Only need a couple tools, 2.5mm Allen wrench, 4mm Allen wrench, and a 10mm wrench. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward and simple. What's a catch can? What's it do for you? Catch can actually eliminates some of the oil that is produced by the combustion process in the engine from entering the intake tract. When we have oil enter the intake tract, it does a couple negative things. It can actually reduce the octane performance of your fuel by having oil in that combustion cycle, as well as the more common thing that people talk about is the buildup of oil on the back of your intake valves, which can cause all kinds of different issues once that buildup gets to a certain point. Something simple like the catch can just helps eliminate some of that oil making it in there. It doesn't stop at 100%, but it does stop a lot of it and will extend that need for service of cleaning those valves and whatnot. So let's get to it. All right, so the first thing we're going to do here is get the bracket installed. This process is the same for Coupe and Convertible. We're going to remove the mag ride connector if you have that, and we're just going to pop the Christmas tree out of the shock tower up here, and then we're going to tuck this in behind. The mag ride connector needs to go down through this side. Once that's down in place, down here there is a riv nut. We are going to take one of the 4mm Allen wrench head screws, start that into the body there. Then we're going to take the other matching screw and the nut that fits this, and we're going to feed that into this other hole just below where the catch can mounts there. And that actually is going to go through the hole that we just took this mag ride connector out, put the nut on the back, and then just kind of level it up, tighten it down. And then we're going to install the mag ride connector into the additional hole in the bracket. All right, now we're going to grab our catch can. All right, so we're going to position the catch can in here so the Paragon P is parallel with this rear bar. This is how we're going to basically get our screws started here. And when it's mounted in this position, you can kind of see that these hoses kind of go out towards the front of the vehicle. This is how we're going to position it if you have a convertible, as you have a coolant reservoir that's here and we need to kind of go around that. If you have a coupe, you can leave it this way if you would like, or you can actually rotate it around so it runs parallel with the wall here. And then just tighten these down. You don't want to tighten them too much, and I would not put Loctite on these screws. They're so small, there's a good chance you'll strip one out trying to get them out. So, all right, so we've got our can mounted here. We're gonna move over here to where these gotta connect. All right, so moving on here to the passenger side of the engine, we need to remove the PCV line that the catch can is actually going to be replacing. On the intake manifold here, there is one quick connect with you'll have to squeeze it pretty firmly and pull it off. But if we follow it along, it also goes down to where it goes underneath the intake manifold back here. And it's the same style connection. We're gonna undo both of those sides. We are going to unclip it from its bracket here, and we are gonna remove that completely. And then as far as the hose connection goes, they're two different lengths, so it kind of just makes sense where they go. The short one is actually going to go to the intake manifold. The long one goes all the way to the back where that one that goes under the valley goes. And we're just going to kind of route it through the exact same way. So, and something just like that. All right, so we're going to grab the longer hose here. We're just going to kind of route that through similar area to where that one we took out came from, all the way down to that valley port. And we're just gonna make sure that we get it to clip into place. You should audibly be able to hear it. Then we're gonna take the short one. This one just routes over the top here. And just like that. And then if you wanna tie these up, the hose is a little bit too big to use the original clip, but you can kind of shove it in there. So if you wanna use it, you can. Otherwise, you can use some zip ties or whatever your preferred method is to connect that. But just like that, it's in. All right, so you've got some miles on your car. You want to check and see if there's oil or drain the catch can here. It's a pretty simple process to take care of that. We're just going to reach in on the bottom of the can here. There's some knurled edge that you can get your hand on. We're just going to unscrew that. And you're looking at it from the top, so you're actually going to be screwing it clockwise here. And make sure the engine and everything is cooled down, because this area will be a very warm area. And then there should be just enough room to get it out. Lift your can up. And then we're gonna just dump this out. You can clean it out with some brake clean or something if you would like, but just dump it out. Kind of check out the O-ring here at the top, make sure there's not any damage. And then we're just gonna put it back on there and screw it back on. And it just needs to be screwed on just hand tight. There you guys have it. Pretty simple install. Honestly, it'll probably take you just as long, if not a little longer, to dig out the tools out of your toolbox to do this install. But now you have your catch can on there, you have that little bit of peace of mind. You do have to drain it from time to time as well. So if the car is new, probably check it every 500 miles till you get a few thousand miles on it. And then from there, in most instances, you'll be able to just kind of check it when you do the oil changes, drain it at those oil change intervals. But if you do any heavy tracking, heavy driving, stuff like that, it never hurts to check it more often as well. You just don't want to run into an instance where that can fills all the way up with oil. But other than that, and enjoy not getting oil sucked into your engine and that negative side effect of, you know, losing some octane level of your fuel, or, you know, having issues when you get some good amount of miles on it down the road with carbon buildup on the back of the valves. This will help slow that down. As always, like, subscribe, and comment. We'll see you guys next time.